Okay, so Bobby Green on the Jaxon podcast was complaining that Islam Makhachev is actually on steroids and the Russian athletes are getting away with all of it and that they are all on PEDs.
Islam. And the only reason why I say that too is like, this shit is like, you gotta see beyond the motherfucking, you gotta see behind the scenes. Why they keep sending them over to Abu Dhabi? You know what I mean? You gotta go over to Abu Dhabi. It's a bunch of other things that I be thinking in my head I don't want to say nothing about, but I'm just gonna spit the shit. But I just be feeling like the Russians be cheating right now. You know, disrespect to none of the Russian people. If you my fans, I fuck with you, but I be seeing some funny shit that I'm like, oh, because I know people all around and in the different sections and stuff. And like, for instance, Khabib and Islam, they go to a mosque, you know? They train in some place where you can't go to USADA, can't come in here for months. They can do whatever they want to do. Actually, Islam got caught for drugs, you know what I mean, when he first came. But he was like, oh, I didn't know this is all the stuff that Russia was giving us as we were kids. We were training, and these are naturally part of the team.
Did he get 6 months?
He got suspended. I don't know the full details of how long or whatnot, but yeah, when he first came over, and so he was like, "Hey, this is what they gave us at school. They said it was vitamins, you know." And so this is what they do. In our country, we're a little bit different, where we want to take everything from everybody. In their countries, they want to make you big, strong, tougher, harder, and so it's a little murky, you know. And then we're gonna go over there and fight them over there, and it's a little bit where I'm like, you're fighting in the backyard, you fighting with their rules, you're gonna lose, kid. You know what I mean? It's already kind of staged against you, just the same way of taking a short notice fight.
This is a little bit of a cope by Bobby Green because he got dogged on against Islam Makhachev, got completely dominated, got embarrassed and finished early. And I understand him, you know, as a fighter you need to cope and you need to be psychologically always coping in order to have and maintain confidence. So it's a little bit tricky for him. But in the comments down below, people are actually saying that Bobby Green popped, which he did. He popped for a substance in his system after the Islam Makhachev fight. But he bought an over-the-counter supplement, so this is not indication of cheating. It's just that he bought a supplement in a store that contained this substance. So it was not cheating per se, but people are misconstruing what is going on, you know, trying to present as if, you know, he's accusing other people of cheating and that he's cheating himself. That he's a hypocrite, basically. But also, Bobby Green was implying that Islam and Khabib, they are in Dubai and they are hiding in the mosque and that USADA just cannot reach them at all and that they are, you know, pumping in steroids and the needles in the mosque and that this is the way they are getting away with it. But this is actually ridiculous because it's not possible. Like, you can hide anywhere. Like any UFC fighter, they can go in the mountains of Chile, Peru, and they can be hiding from USADA. Like, for me, the way I cope is that I believe that every single fighter in the UFC is using something and that the playing field is even. You know, this is the way I cope and look at the sport. Because if you try to, you know, seek other fighters without any evidence of them taking PEDs, it's hard, it's difficult, and you just cannot prove that a single individual, you know, without them failing the test. So it's best for me to think that every single one of them is cheating and that the playing field is even. So this is the way I cope with it. But Bobby Green is actually accusing Islam that he's taking steroids and that he actually failed the PED test himself, which he did. Islam actually failed the PED test. Islam actually had some heart conditions and he was prescribed. So Islam was found to have meldonium in his system, and this was a banned substance, and he got popped for it, but he actually had some heart conditions, and his physician actually recommended him to take this because meldonium is used for heart recovery. And so yeah, I think it's a misunderstanding from Bobby Green, and just he's not on the money with this one. Bobby Green not understanding, you know, people and the fans not understanding what is going on, and just wanted to clarify all this. Bobby Green wasn't caught cheating. He just, the tests found that he had some substance in his system that was not allowed in competition, but this is not indication that someone is purposefully cheating. And in terms of Islam, he didn't pop for steroids. He just was using meldonium, which was prescribed to him by his physician because of his heart conditions, and this is the reason why he was popped as well. But this was a substance that was at that time, recently got put on the banned list, and yeah, he got popped for it. So just not to misconstrue any of these things. Like, for me, I think a lot of them are cheating, to be honest, in the UFC. I think a lot of these fighters are getting away with it, and you can always be one step ahead, in terms of testing. Like, you can pay off good physicians, and they can mix you something very good, and you can clean your system very easily. It's just you need to get down on the timing. And just like Chito Vera said, like, you can go in the mountains of Peru, and they're never gonna be catching you. Like, you're always gonna have an empty system, and you're good to go. So, like, this is why I don't like to complain about other fighters using PEDs. Like, I think many of them are using it. It's just an even playing field, to be honest. And yeah, I wanted to cover this topic because a lot of people are misguided and do not understand what is going on.